Hi everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Hobby Hussy. Today I am making a lefty cake. I started out with a sheet cake and a half of a ball cake. I printed out a picture of Lefty's face to use as a template, and I cut around it with a serrated knife, and I try to go straight up and down on my cuts. And then I cut away the excess. And I put the template back down and try to make the muzzle out of the little half of a spear cake. And it's not a perfect circle, but that the roundness of the spear cake is very helpful when making his muzzle. Now I'm just carving around his muzzle because he has an indentation right under his muzzle where it goes into his mouth because he's got an open mouth. And I'm kind of rounding his face to make it more three-dimensional. You don't want it flat. Now I'm cutting out his eyes. I'm just going around in the hole, and then I kind of scoop out the eyes. And his ears, I didn't want flush with his face. I wanted them set back a little bit, so I'm cutting off some of his ears. And I did the same thing with his hat. Because you want it a little bit more recessed. And now I'm sculpting the sides of his head, his forehead, to kind of bring it out more, make it more three-dimensional. And now I've got some gray buttercream frosting to put on it. And this is just a crumb coat because it's going to be a fondant cake. But get that all on there. And now I'm using my gray fondant, getting it all nice and pliable. And that's cornstarch that I'm putting around so it doesn't stick to the rolling pin. But I'm doing it out not really thin, but thin enough. And put it on the cake, and then I go around it with my hands to kind of fit it tightly to the cake. Because that's his muzzle where his mouth is. He has an open mouth. And just make sure there's no wrinkles. And go carefully around his ears and his hat and his muzzle. And you can go in a little bit on his mouth, but don't press too hard because you don't want the fondant to rip. And now I kind of go, after I've cut off the excess, I go around and kind of tuck the fondant underneath the cake just a little bit. And I'm using a ball tool to go into the areas that need more recess. His eyes, his mouth. And I'm going around and tucking in the fondant a little bit better. And I didn't like the gray on the hat. I should have not put that there, but it's easy to come off. So I cut it off, put some more icing on it, and then I put his red hat on there later. This is his pink mouth. And I freehanded this. It's like a moon shape, a crescent shape. But put that there and tuck it in with your fingers and a tool later on. Adhere it to the fondant. And sometimes you need to put water between your two fondant pieces, but I did not have to on this. It depends how sticky it is. Now I am dipping some white fondant into Tylose powder because I want this to get harder than the rest of it. This is his teeth that I'm trying to make here. I make a long rectangle and then I cut it into little rectangles. That's one tooth, two teeth, three teeth, and you get the picture. And some of them didn't turn out very good, so you just toss them. But shape them up a little bit with your fingers. And then put them aside. But do that with each tooth. Now this is a teaspoon, a rounded teaspoon, and I am going to put some white fondant in it to make an eyeball, kind of using it as a mold. And I let that harden in the spoon, and it doesn't get like very hard, but it gets harder. I'm putting his red hat on. It's fondant. Cut the excess off. And smooth it on and smooth it under. And tuck it under just a little bit. And this is the brim of his hat. And I rolled out a red log as uniform as possible. And then I tried to stiffen it out a little bit and flatten it a little bit to make it more of a brim look. And I put his cheeks on, I guess, off camera. But they're just white circles, flat fondant, kind of like these gray circles that I'm putting in his ears. But the gray circles in his ears, they look like tin cans. I'm not really familiar with this Five Nights at Freddy's. I think it's a game. But it looked like tin cans. So I went around the ear insides and made it jagged to try and make it look like a tin can. To make it like the picture that I was trying to recreate. And this is his muzzle. I rolled out some fondant, but I rolled it out very thick. And then I put it on, and then I kind of shape it after it's on. And make sure it's even. And this is like a cheater bar. I used it to make a straight line between his left and right side of his muzzle. And then I used sugar shaper, which I love, to make the division of his muzzle a little bit better. And this is his nose I made out of black fondant. And I kind of shape it with my fingers a little bit. And make sure the middle is in the middle. And then I took a ball stylus tool and made his nostrils. And this is his eyebrows. They look like two pieces of tin can again. But they were cut exactly like that in the picture. And this is the shadow behind his eyes. So I went ahead and did it out of fondant. I probably could have painted it, but I wanted it a little bit thicker and more three-dimensional. So I put those down and kind of went around it with my sugar shaper, and then with the ball stylus tool to kind of smooth it out a little bit. And this character has one black eye and one white eye. But that was his black eye. It was just a circle of fondant, an egg shape. And then he has a red eyelid that I put on it. And this is the white eyeball that I made in the spoon. So now I'm putting it in. And then this is his iris. It's just a round circle of flat fondant. And I put on his red eyelid on that side too. And now I'm putting in his teeth. And I kind of poke a hole in his muzzle where the tooth is going to go. And then I shove the tooth in there. Dental surgery at its finest. I wish it was that easy. And you can smooth it with the sugar shaper to make his teeth nice and pretty. And straight. But I did a few teeth like that, and I made them too long, so I cut them in half. And this is his bottom teeth. And those are just kind of put on right on the line between the pink and the black. And this, it doesn't look good yet, but when I put his lip on, it looks a lot better. I'm using the straight edge of a knife to give me straighter edges. And this is his bottom lip. It's just a gray roll of fondant. I put that on, and it kind of brings his lip out when you do that. And makes his teeth look better. I'm kind of tucking it in with the sugar shaper. And this is his pupil. You make a little round ball, and then you put it on, and then you smash it flat. And this is, I think, his whiskers. I just poked little holes with a little round ball stylus, and then I put little black balls of fondant in the little holes. And I'm guessing they're whiskers on the character. Now I'm putting a clear piping gel on his eyes to give it a little bit more realistic look. He's got that black eye and a white eye. And I'm putting some in his mouth. And this is his joints, I think, on his mouth. He's got like some hydraulics in his mouth that make his mouth go up and down. I'm not real sure what this character is made out of. He looks like he was made in a junkyard. But that is it. That's what the final cake looks like. And my niece really liked it. Thank you for watching another Hobby Hussy video. Please like and subscribe for future videos. Thank you.